Wake that up.
LA's #1 hip-hop morning show is Nick Cannon Mornings on Power 106.
Nick Cannon Radio. It is time for up close and personal conversations. Still the quarantine check-in. We are checking in with our community, our queens, our people that we admire. And this young lady is all of the above. Quite talented actress, entertainer, singer, songwriter, guitar player, so many things. She makes it happen. And she has some projects that are currently out in an upcoming film, doing it real big. Andy Allo, how you doing?
Hey, what's up? I'm great. How are you?
I'm well. First off, like I said, it's the quarantine check-in. You good? Are you safe? Family, everybody's healthy, operating on the highest frequency?
Yes. Everyone's doing well. Thank God.
Yeah, indeed. Obviously, we are in probably one of the most world-changing times we have ever experienced, at least in my generation. You know, pandemics,
Agreed.
Civil uprisings, and global unrest on so many capacities. And that's why I always say we need our artists more than anything. And you're an artist on multiple levels. Well, obviously, you have TV shows, movies, but I want to talk music first. We got any new music coming out?
Yeah. I'm working on a new record. And it's funny, I was just reaching out to some producers that I haven't been in touch with and trying to get that lined up and how I can record in quarantine and with everything that's going on. So, yeah, I'm excited to put some new stuff out.
And for some who may or may not know, you definitely have your own unique style when it comes to music. And I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I know you've had opportunities to even, work with the likes of like Prince and had the ability on that level to be able to jam and mesh and vibrate with some of the best. So this question is probably twofold. One, what's the new style? What's the new direction? Considering, I mean, these are the time that the artists have to kind of step up and operate on the new paradigm. But also, I mean, a little bit about your musical journey. Like, how did it all happen for you, and how did you get into it? So, where'd you start, and where you going?
Okay, all right. In a nutshell, I'll give you my whole life history. Well, I started off as a singer-songwriter, playing guitar, singing songs, and I put out my first album in 2009. And a couple years later, got introduced to Prince and joined his band, toured with him. Wow. And we ended up working together on my second album, Superconductor, and that came out in 2012. Wow. And that was more like funk. We had trombone Shorty on it. Yeah. We had Maceo Parker. So it was a lot of like horns and soul. Yeah. Such a dream. And then after that, I played with kind of pop rock, and then kind of went back to my singer-songwriter roots. So for each record, I've kind of just embraced genre bending and playing in different playgrounds of music. But now I found myself really craving kind of going back to my roots, which is I was born in Cameroon.
Awesome.
I grew up there, and a lot of my music, I haven't really been able to incorporate that and where I'm from.
The heritage.
Yes, exactly. The motherland.
The motherland. We need that right now from the source.
I'm trying to find that like mix of, the music I've done and bridging the gap from, of where I'm from. And kind of combining those two. So that's the next
Wow,
chapter.
I'm so interested, and you got a fan in me. I am definitely a fan. So indeed, keep it going. Awesome. We cannot wait for that. But seems like other things have been keeping you busy, like being a movie star, a television star. First of all, let me say what I feel like you guys are going into season 2, right?
Yes.
Of Upload. That show is super cool. Like it kind of like makes me think like, oh, that's what Heaven and the Matrix, if they came together, that's what it would be like.
Oh, I love that. Yes. Yeah.
So you're the star of the show. Like, tell me about this whole experience. How did it come about being able to work with like the likes of Greg Daniels and the entire cast and all of that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing acting for a while, and just on that grind of auditioning and getting things here and there. And then what's funny is actually the movie that I have coming out this week, I was filming it the same time I auditioned for Upload.
Oh, wow.
And it's taken that same amount of time. So I auditioned and filmed that movie and auditioned for Upload in 2017.
Wow.
And so all these projects kind of coming out in the same year is really crazy.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, just kind of getting the opportunity to audition for Greg and um,
And it's like a hit show
embody
now.
that
Like if you're
character.
not up on
Yeah.
it, Amazon Prime, you could definitely check it out. It's fire. It's super cool. Now, have you guys started season 2 yet, or did that get filmed?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. Yeah. So that's with everything that's going on and figuring out how to film with COVID.
Right.
That's kind of what's getting worked out now. But the plan is, yes, to film it this year. So
All right.
fingers
Well, we
crossed.
look forward to that. And I guess one of the main reasons that we're talking to you right now is 2 minutes of fame. It feels
Yes.
like this is a world that I know pretty well, and some people that are in this film that I know very well, from Jay Farrell to Cat Williams. And you are Keke Palmer as well, and you're also one of the leads of this film. Tell me a little bit about it.
It follows Jay, who's a YouTube comedian and is aspiring to kind of take his
He's playing a
social
character
media
of a
fame.
YouTube comedian,
Yes,
even though he kind of
yes,
started off in that world in real life. But like, I just wanted
very
to
true.
separate
Yes,
the two.
his character,
Yeah,
not yeah.
yeah.
And he gets the opportunity to come out to LA for a competition that would open up a lot of doors for him. And he makes some enemies along the way, makes some new friends in LA. I'm one of his new friends.
I
And
like the way that you put it. You're one of his new friends. Well, he got a girl at
right,
home.
yeah, Keke is the baby mama, and so I might cause some trouble. I don't know,
We'll
you
see.
know.
We'll see. I could see how that could happen. I've,
Whose
I've,
side are you on, Nick?
I'm just saying it's life. In this scenario, you always supposed to side with the baby mama.
Okay. You're right. Okay,
Right?
fine.
But you did a fine job of being the tempting one. We understand. It's LA.
All right, fine. Okay.
But nah, the film seems like it's really fun. I mean, obviously, super talented individuals. So, I mean, it
Yeah.
had to be kind of cool to kind of work with all of those people, especially the comedians.
Oh yeah. I mean, legends. And just one day on set, we had a scene in a comedy club, and I had to introduce people, and we're all hanging out there. There's Cat Williams, Anthony Anderson came by, Dion Cole's there, like everybody. It's all these like legends and great comedians. And as we're hanging out, Cat is basically like, we're joking, and they had other local comedians doing sets just to kind of keep the audience and the extras kind of excited.
Right.
And there's this joke that started kind of running around of that I was like Jesus's niece. It was so random, and I don't know how it came, but it became like the running joke of the day.
That's hilarious.
Okay, I'll take it. I will take that.
Especially coming from the likes of the greats like Cat and all of them. They'll just start running with stuff on set, and then
Right.
it just becomes. Trust me, I know how that goes very well. We do that all the time on Wild 'N Out. Speaking of, you gotta come rock with us on Wild 'N Out.
Oh my gosh, I would love that. I don't know, I don't know if you're ready for, the heat I'm about to bring, though.
She talking that
So,
shit. She ready to bring it. She do one little movie with some comedians, and all of a sudden, she ready for the smoke.
just kidding. Okay, I'll be on your team. It's okay.
It's definitely all love. I haven't seen the film, but I'm definitely looking forward to checking it out. Now, if we want to see the film, how can one go about it?
It's out on demand and digital tomorrow.
Wow.
Yes. And you can also watch it on Amazon.
Oh,
The Amazon family.
You just taking over Amazon. I see what you're doing. Is your music available on Amazon as well?
My music is also available on Amazon. I
See,
basically live there.
there it is. As you should. If there's one place to live today, that would be the place. And speaking, we definitely got to talk current state of the world, because I know you're someone who is truly conscious and socially aware. Specifically, even your co-star, Jay Farrell, who I'll be talking to later, and I thought I was going to be talking to my brother about just his new movies and positive things, but unfortunately, he found himself in a horrible situation with law enforcement recently here in Los Angeles, and where you think that it can't happen to people that are in entertainment or successful. There's literal video of Jay Farrell with his hands spread on the concrete, laying on the ground with several officers surrounding him and their guns pulled. I mean, first of all, when you saw that image, how did that make you feel?
Infuriating.
Yeah.
And also terrifying, because there's no moment of even thinking or of grace. It's like instant, just leading with, and having guns drawn, like, and terror. Like, I felt that fear for him. Indeed. And you could see it as he was explaining it. And you don't think, oh, this won't happen to me. Like you said, it's like, oh, I have fame or whatever, or I'm different. But it does happen, and it happens to people that we know, and people close, and it happens to us.
People who look like us. If it's never happened to us directly, which it has happened to me several times, and they don't care about who you are, how much money you have. It's all about power with them, and it's unfortunate, because it is a systemic issue. It is a system. Even the idea of a patrolling. I always tell people I'm an abolitionist. I don't understand why we have to have law enforcement in general. The idea, first of all, to enforce someone else's law and for someone else to tell me what's a crime and what's not is a foreign concept to me, because when you come from a tribal community, the community creates the law. You don't have things enforced on you. You uphold laws. But these concepts in America, when you say we should do away with law enforcement or defund the police or dismantle police department, people think that's a ridiculous concept, but nobody thinks that giving people who are not of the community weapons and the right to patrol, monitor, and oversee another group of people is absurd. And that's what kind of hurts my heart, that we live in a society where we're comfortable with policing. We're comfortable with being policed when police comes from an enslavement mentality. And when you think about what the word police actually even stands for. So again, I get too deep and too far on it sometime, but when I see one of my brothers, regardless if they're famous or if they're just one of my brothers in the community, it hurts my heart that someone else has the authority and the power to invoke that type of fear into one of our own.
Absolutely. And I feel like, in giving the community that responsibility, it's easy to then you put all this responsibility on a group of people, and all of a sudden there's this mentality of people that, oh, we are better than.
Yeah.
And as soon as you start to think, okay, this person's better than me, or I'm better than you, then you start to see that shift. And the fact is, nobody's better than anybody.
Indeed.
Like,
say it.
At the end of the day, we are all the same. We are all equal. But because exactly what you're saying, there's this system and there's this construct of, all right, certain people are better, certain people are less than.
And it was taught to us. We can't even blame the individuals that are practicing it, because it goes all the way back to imperialism and a colonistic lifestyle that has been put on us since, even before the transatlantic slave trade. But when you look at a certain group of people as property, how can you ever even consider giving them rights or think that they're equal as you? Because they've been a commodity for so long. And even in classism, it still operates that way, even before there was race. So again, it's a greater issue. Specifically, hopefully, our government can figure it out. Again, my solution is looked up and looked on as absurd when I say just get rid of law enforcement. But
I think there's a balance.
But see, like, why is that concept so foreign when I say get rid of police? Like, what do we need? Okay, I'll ask you this question. Now, okay, do you drive?
Yes.
Okay, as a person who drives right now, the statistic is that for every 2,000 cars, there is one highway patrol officer. So clearly, we're not being patrolled as much as we think we are. And in the new day and age, there is not one strip of California highway that is not on camera, and we have helicopters. Why do we need highway patrol?
Listen, that's a whole other issue.
They're
I don't wanna
police
get into
officers.
that.
That's what I'm saying. Like that, I said this personally to the
I know what
mayor
you're trying to do.
and the governor. I'm just saying. So that's one level of law enforcement that is
Right.
clearly not needed. You never call the highway patrol for nothing. Clearly, we are following the laws without being policed on the highway. And then when you see a highway patrolman, you start driving back because you're scared. Like if there were no highway patrol, we'd be good. Like, get rid of everybody and the meter maids. Get them all out of here.
Okay, I completely agree on meter maids. That should absolutely
It's all
stop.
money. It's all to monitor taxpayer dollars and the charges for our own freedom. But I'm going to get off my soapbox for a minute, Andy. We going to keep it moving. Like I said, so much. I'm so proud of all that you're doing as an artist. I cannot wait for the new music. I'm a fan of the show. I can't wait to see the movie. I'm going to be on Amazon watching Upload, as well as the film with you and Jay Farrell, Cat Williams, and Keke Palmer, 2 Minutes of Fame. Now, I give you all of those accolades and attributes because now I got to put you in the hot seat. This is called the Firing Squad. Rapid fire questions, but it's easy. Some are philosophical.
Wait, I was not.
She's like, I was not ready for this. They're philosophical, psychological, but mostly fun. So it'll be easy. Don't worry about it. You got this.
He just like cuts out right now.
Yeah. Like, I'm not answering none of this. Trust me, I don't know anything about your personal life, so you ain't got to worry about that. So whatever you say, you got yourself in trouble yourself. It wasn't me. All right, so we always start the conversation off like this. Psychological study shows that there's only two true emotions, love and fear, and every other emotion stems from that. Niccolo Machiavelli did a study, an Italian philosopher back in the day. He said that if you can't be loved, then you might as well be feared, or you have to be feared, something like that. It was in Italian. I don't know. But so when it breaks it down, love and fear, what is more important to you, and what would you rather be? You walk into the room. When Andy walks into the room, do you want to be loved or do you want to be feared?
Love. 100%. All day, every day.
Really? And it just,
yes.
Because, fear, that's where respect and reverence and, order, as we see in this society. So you rather say, I'll take love because, people can misuse you if you're too loved or if you're operating out of love.
But with love comes respect. I believe that. True respect.
Got it.
And respect not out of the negative, not out of the dark. I think that love and showing somebody how beautiful that is actually brings out the best in somebody. And, problems don't get served with that. Some do, but it's never a long-term solution. I believe that solutions and treating people with love in that way, the truest form of it is really where people get to see themselves and to really thrive, is with love.
Spoken like a true queen. All right. Next question. Speaking of fear, what's Andy Allo's greatest fear?
Failure.
Ooh, okay. She went deep.
Yeah. Failure, and also fear of not achieving my purpose. I think that's been something that I've been afraid of thinking, okay, I know God put me on earth to do something, to use my gifts. I've been blessed with a lot. And so how can I utilize that? How can I use that to make a difference? And being afraid that I won't be able to achieve what is meant for me.
I heard that. That's powerful.
But yeah, so that the work is in that actually failing is part of that process and is part of the growth. And so that's where I'm kind of learning to be okay.
All right.
But yeah.
All right. So then that leads me to my next question. What's Andy Allo's greatest accomplishment?
Ooh. Wow. That's tough.
See, I'm
There's
good
so
at this.
many.
I'm good with
Yeah, I
this.
know. Ah. There've been so many things that have led me to this point.
And of
I
course, thus far, your greatest accomplishment to date.
my
I'm
to
pretty sure
date,
there's going to be so many more.
I would have to say Upload.
Okay.
Yeah, I think leading a series has been huge. It's been a dream of mine for a very long time.
Yeah.
But and what it's opened up for me is given me a larger platform, I think, to that connects to my purpose of actually making a difference.
That's
And so
dope.
that in that way, in a roundabout way, it's connecting and makes me feel like that's my greatest accomplishment thus far.
Our biggest mistake.
Oh my gosh. Biggest mistake?
Andy Allo's biggest mistake.
Oh, can I just the locks, they double as
I know, right? As
Um,
drapes.
yes. Like, and she's out. Oh, my greatest mistake. Wow, that's so the one thing that just popped in my head, which is so weird, is not graduating from college, which is
You can
it's
still
so-
do it.
I know. I don't know why that just popped in my head. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Education is
think-
definitely key. I mean, not to, I'm a proponent and advocate for education. I'm class of 2020. I just graduated, so it's never
Oh my
too late.
gosh.
Yeah, it's never too late.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes. And I mean, look how far we've come based on a, high school diploma,
Yeah.
where it's like, and then you can always kind of go back and like
Yeah,
you
for
said,
the right
continue that.
reasons too. Like it's not to
Right.
like, oh, let me get a degree so I could try to make some more money. It's just like, no, let me truly figure out this education and so like I said, you could
Yes.
right that wrong. That doesn't necessarily have to be a mistake. That could just be like a pause moment and you'll figure
a
it out
pause.
eventually.
Yes, I love that. And I think it's so important, like education, especially now. It's like everyone educating themselves. And even if you think you know what stuff is about or what's going on, it's like there's always more to learn. No matter where you are in your life, no matter where you are in your career.
Nelson Mandela said
always.
it the best. If you want to change the world, education is the greatest weapon. So there you have it. All right, lighten it up for a moment. Favorite movie of all time?
Forrest Gump.
Yo, that's my favorite movie too.
Stop.
I swear.
Stop.
That because you know why I say that? Forrest Gump is my
Why?
favorite movie. One, because Tom Hanks was amazing in it. But it's an action movie. It's a comedy. It's a love story. It's a war film. It's every type of movie in one film.
Everything. Yes. Yes. You're crying. You're entertained. You're laughing.
The whole time. It's a coming of age story. Like it's the most amazing movie ever.
You're
ever made.
literally the first person I met that all says is their favorite movie.
It
I'm
is
so
my
excited.
favorite film. Like, if there's one thing, like, I can only watch one movie for the rest of my life, it's Forrest Gump. I always say that. Wow, that's crazy. I've never heard anybody else say that. So, all right.
Awesome.
Speaking of, we probably definitely going to disagree on this one. If there's only one album that you can listen to for the rest of your life, what is that album?
Ooh. Only one album. Oh, that's tough. Do I have to pick only one?
One. It's one album forever.
I feel like I should pick a Prince album just out of respect, but
there's some powerful ones in there.
I love you, Prince, but maybe like
yeah, let's keep it a stack.
Wow. Okay, you go while I think. What's yours?
Mine is Biggie. And then mine changes often, but I often say if I think about the Life After Death album, I always tell people that is probably one of the greatest bodies of work ever. One, because it's 23 songs, so I get to
okay.
like, because I would have said like Thriller, but I would have got tired of Billie Jean after a while. So if I can only listen to one album and really like the understanding of a black man, his struggle from rags to riches, the storytelling, like Biggie is probably one of the greatest storytellers in hip hop. Every song on that album is a hit. And it's the most successful, him and Tupac got the most successful hip-hop albums of all time. And I would have picked Pac because I'm a bigger Pac fan.
Right.
But Biggie had more hits on his double album. So I always go with Life After Death.
Ooh. Okay. No, that
and
was
before
good.
that would have been like
very...
Stevie Wonder songs and The Key of Life. But I'm gonna stick with Biggie.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I can't take what you said, even though I want to. Can I do a compilation album?
Sure. Create an album.
Just kidding. Okay, I would do Bill Withers. Still Bill.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that has
In my top 5 influential artists that I look up to, Bill Withers is always in the top 5. Between him and Donny Hathaway, they share a space in my heart. And just from Bill Withers, from Grandma's Hands to
oh my gosh, to
Lean on Me, Ain't No Sunshine, just the two of us. People sleep on Bill so hard.
Yes,
he is really like when I write songs, I think like, what would Bill Withers write? Like that's my vibe. So I'm glad you said that. All right, now if you're stranded on an island and you only can take 3 things with you, what is Andy Allo taking?
My guitar.
Of course.
Chapstick.
Okay, you gotta keep the lips moist. I understand.
I mean,
understood.
You see Castaway?
Yeah, you can't be scaly when they rescue you. You can't have pieces of your lip hanging off.
Right?
I'm with you on the guitar. I'm with you with the chapstick too. I'm interested to see what's the last thing.
I know this is tough. Okay. And I would take a pot.
A pot?
No. Wait.
What are you gonna do with the pot?
You can boil water.
You've been watching too much Naked and Afraid.
Why are you gonna call me out though?
Like a pot?
I told you that in confidence.
Yeah, like not a cell phone, not a flare gun, not a boat. You gonna take a pot?
You said stranded.
This is your island. This is in your mind. This is see how you break it down. It's like I said.
If I took a phone, it would just be too easy.
Yeah. See, but you got to remember, these are psychological questions. These tell who you really are based off of your answers. So the fact that you're going to take a pot explains the type of person you are.
Wait, I need you to help me. Wait, at the end of this, are you going to give me like?
Oh no, I'm not going to give you any dissertations or breakdowns of who you are because I do not have the authority for that. I just go to the psychology websites and these are the questions that they ask. So you can go look it up to see what type of person you are for taking a pot to a stranded island.
So your degree was not in psychology?
Not yet. It's in criminology, but my master's is in psychology. So when I get to the doctorate and I can actually analyze and break it down for you, I will tell you what you choosing a pot and some chapstick actually really means about yourself.
Okay, good. I await.
I don't have that authority yet. But one thing I would want to know, because we always do the top 5 on the show, and you are such a well-rounded artist with such great knowledge. Who are the top 5 artists that inspire you? Andy Allo's top 5.
Oh, wow. Nina Simone.
Ooh.
Prince.
Of course.
Wow. Bob Marley.
Wow. This is a heavy top 5.
Jimi Hendrix.
Wow. Okay, yeah. So this last one is I'm sure it's going to be, I'm not even going to think who I think it's going to be. Go ahead.
Me.
Oh, there it is. I thought you was going to say Stevie Wonder, because that would have been like the most amazing top 5 ever. But the fact that you threw yourself in there, I'm all in. And that leads me to the last question, how we always end the Firing Squad. It's truly about legacy and your journey, and you are creating quite the legacy already. So when it's all said and done, what's that one word that you wish to be remembered by? If there's only one word that describes you, what is that word?
Joy.
Wow. There it is. That is a powerful statement right there. This has been an up-close and personal conversation with the joyful Andy Allo. Congratulations on everything.
Thank you so much. This has been a blast.
Likewise. I've learned so much about you.
I've learned so much about myself.
Right?
I'm going to be Googling now the rest of today.
Like, what does this mean?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.